let's see, I'm gonna erase this out. So review for the notes that you would use today. Middle C, remember middle C is a line below, so you need to have that line underneath it, and D right here, right under the first line, okay? The next thing you're gonna have is the space notes right here. You're only gonna use from F to C for some of the people who are doing the ABC, you know, the higher level one. And the C2, remember the C2? That's what you're gonna put down for it, on the third space. If you have regular C that doesn't have C2 or anything on it, middle C, all right? Then remember your line notes right here, you're only gonna use 2 for today. Besides, of course, the C's a line note as well, but you don't have the line in between it. So you're only gonna use E and G. So I want you to go ahead, get out a pencil. Make sure you have a pencil, this is very important for you to use a pencil. And we will begin writing down our music. Okay. If you want to put a line, you know, connect all your lines together right there, going straight down, that's fine too. Because it is open right there. So it just makes you feel better when you do that. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to draw the treble clef. And I will do it slowly for you because I know everyone doesn't have to draw the treble clef. So I start off right here, kind of making a hook. I make my way all the way up to the top. Curve it under, almost like you're doing a B. Go out, and you only want to go to touch this part right here. Don't go past this part. You're going to make your way around, and it should end on G. See the line right here is G? This is where your point should end. Mine's really big, but yours will look better. And I will go ahead and try that a couple of times, like just on the first line, just keep drawing a bunch of them, just to get comfortable with it. If you need to see me do it again, I'm going to do it again for you, so you can see how to do it. Practice makes perfect, so draw it as many times as possible. All right, starting on the bottom, got my hook. I am going up. Make my little B go around to a little swirly circle, end on my G right here. Does anyone have any questions about that? They just can't get it, or good on that so far? Y'all can talk. Yeah, no. All right. All right. Now do that a couple more times. Give you a minute or so. Just do about 5 or 6 of them over and over again on that top line. You can say it out loud. Yeah. Yeah. Ask the question out loud.
If we already know how to draw one, do we have to keep drawing them?
Yes, I want you to keep drawing. Because even if you already know, it's a good refresher to keep doing over and over again. You can always make it better, you know. Even mine can look better as well, my treble clef. Which is also known as the G clef. That's why I tell you to end on that G, on the end of it. They also call it a G clef because of the fact that it goes through the G line. So, fun fact for today. So, that's good enough, you know. Go ahead and go to your, skip a couple lines. And we're going to actually start our composition. So now, this is the big moment for your treble clef. So make it real nice, but you do have a pencil, so you can always erase it. And go ahead and draw your treble clef out this time. And right after this, you're going to put your time signature. But y'all are on 4, 4. They see how I drew it with the 2 spaces right here, the next 2 spaces? That's how I space it out that way. So make sure you already started off with that. All right, after you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and use your rhythm sheet, and you're going to go ahead and copy all of your notes down.
This right here?
Yes. your rhythm sheet that has written down your rhythm, the notes that you have that you're gonna put on there, and make sure that each measure, which you have listed down as 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're going to now transfer it this way. So now it's gonna be 1, bar line, 2, bar line, 3, bar line, 4, double bar line, because you are done it. All right? And for everyone else, once you get done with doing that, 'cause I know it's not gonna take you too long to copy everything down, here are my left-hand rules. And let me know when you get done with your composition project, you know, writing it down. Just the right hand, I need to see it. Make sure it's correct. After you get done, you are going to make your left hand yourself. Instead of doing all the steps we had before, you're gonna do it all on your own. The only thing you're not gonna do today is put it onto the staff, all right? So you can go ahead and go to your pianos now.
So don't copy, or do copy this onto this.
Yes, copy that onto this. That's what I need to see today. That'll be a part of your daily grade today, just to do this.
Do we have to put the counts underneath it? Or
No,
not?
I don't want the counts underneath it. Yes, you can go back to your piano. Unless you wanted to stay here and write it, then you can stay here. Okay. Yeah, there's one thing I'm gonna change from you. Remember what I said about the last measure? Look at the board. Yeah, there you go. So it is done for now. It's done. Okay, I'm ready. This time I want you to count. And let it again for me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 1, 2.
All right, that's much better. Just making sure you don't have any type of break right here. So when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So make sure when you get into the half note, you're going straight into 3. So 1, 2, quarter, quarter. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So just play that. Just play that part. Just the third measure.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, fine. All right, sounds good. Yeah, practice a little bit more with it. And then once you played it about 1,000 times and 1,000,000,000 times, and you have it stuck in your head and you're dreaming about it, then we're gonna have you working on your left hand.
Am I gonna have to like copy my hand? Like, is it gonna be like the same notes?
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to that point. But
Okay.
yes, we can. We'll go over the left hand stuff when we get to that point. Let's see. You ready? Okay.
Here?
No.
Oh, that's because I plugged you in wrong, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't bad. The only thing I was saying, did you want that to be an F?
I don't know yet. I just left it alone because I didn't know what it is.
And you wrote because when I'm looking at it, it sounds like it's an. It looks like it's an E.
Oh yeah. That is.
So, it's a little bit closer. But you played an F. That's why I was like wondering about it. But you just move it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Wait, so do I put it on
No,
a
just
space?
yes.
Okay.
Space is FACE. All on the space notes.
Okay. Oh, wait again?
Yes. This time I want you to count it though. All right, that was really good. So I want you to practice this a couple more times. Once I go through everyone, I have you and Brooke right now get started with working on their left hand. Okay?
Wait, I'm working on left hand by myself?
Yes, you are.
What?
We're gonna do the same steps we did earlier, so you're not going straight into the left hand. So you're gonna do the rhythm and everything else first.
Okay.
It won't be bad. See, you
Yeah,
went through all of this.
But how do I start?
Huh?
How do I start? By making a rhythm?
Yes, you're gonna remember how you started the right hand? That's how you're gonna do. Same thing with the left hand, but there's gonna be different rules for the left hand. We will go over it. It'll be real simple. I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. All right. Why did you write this in pen? All right, the only thing I want to say before you begin is that I want to know where your measure ends. There you go.
You ready?
Mhm. Did you write down your notes from last time? It was here? Well, that makes sense. Why didn't you tell me that? You didn't even do this part. Okay, this is what you have to do first. We'll get rid of this right now. Okay? So we can start right here. So what we're gonna do first is that you're gonna have to, let me try this one. You have to create your own notes first. So the goal is that you have to use 4 different notes throughout the whole entire 4 measures. So you at least have to go through 4. For instance, let's see if I can find mine. For instance, if I play this and I go C, D, E, F, F, that's 4 notes already, that's good. As long as I'm not going C, 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 I don't think, you know, that's not an interesting song. So I want you to at least go through 4 different notes. Only using the white keys, you are using 5-finger position. So thumb, first finger is on middle C. You don't move from there, okay? And you will not move from here. I want you to stay in 5-finger position all the way to the end. So that means you have the choice of C, D, E, F, and G. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna write those letters underneath your rhythm. The goal in the end is that you must end with the C, an E, or a G. So you can't end with a D or an F. You must end with one of those notes. And since you have 4 quarter notes at the end, you can either decide to put it on the last one, but I think it would be easier just to put it on the last 2. So if you want to put C on the last 2, put C, C right there, you know. Right, so you just go ahead and do that for me real quick, write that in, and then let me listen to that before we go ahead and notate it, all right? Who else is ready for me to hear? Okay. We'll go to Lucas and he's closer. Okay,
Ready?
yes.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Mhm. All right, it sounds good. The only thing I would say about when we actually notate this is that it almost looks like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So you just write it to where it's going right in the middle of the C.
Okay.
But other than that, it sounds fine. Just play it a couple more times, get used to it,
Yes, ma'am.
and then we'll go ahead and start working on the left hand.
Okay.
All right, and Michelle. Yes, just. Are you starting? Are you ending on a C or an E?
E.
You played a C.
I did?
Yeah. You probably didn't realize it. Now you can end with the C if you want, but you're just gonna have to notate it that way.
Oh, wait. Okay.
So you wanna change it to a C? Yeah. It sounded better, that's why you changed it when you played it. But I just wanna make sure that whatever you play is gonna be notated the same way.
Alright.
All right. Play it again for me now. Okay. All right. I want you to count just the third measure. And give the whole beats out 1, 2, 3, and 4.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Just make sure that, because you have that whole toe, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. Make sure you get the whole, half note, the entire beat.
Okay.
Okay? And just play that beginning for me so we can get used to it. Yeah. Count this time I play. That might make it count from the beginning. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. No, just right here at the beginning. It's right there. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You see where it is now? So just start right here on measure 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. Right? Ready, and 1.
I'm starting right there.
Yes, right there. Eddie, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. Play it again. Just that part. 2, 1. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. Ready? Just say it with me. Just say this. Say 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. Ready? 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2. 2, repeat it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, repeat it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I want you to just repeat this about 90,000 times.
Okay.
That would be good for me too.
Okay.
That way we can get used to that. That rhythm's really tricky because, and you wrote it, so you wrote a tricky rhythm for yourself, and that's good. Let's keep practicing some more on that.
Okay.
Who else needs to?
Do you have to listen to this before I write
Yes.
it?
Yes, I do. Excuse me, yes, that's two things I have to say. One is that you can't cross over because we have to use the left hand later. So it has to all be on the right hand.
Okay, so you can't do this?
Now, unless you can find a way to move your hand to get there, you won't be able to do a crossover. Because your left hand's going to be tied up doing some
I'm not
other
good
moves.
like that, so.
No, you're fine. The second thing I also say is that you can't play a low A because you can only go to the middle C. That's the rules. Yep.
Well, no, it don't sound good anymore.
You can move around. You just play around with, let's see, for instance, if I go. I can still, right there, I already made something up just using the rules. You see what I just did? Because I went all the way up here and I started on C, stayed on 5-finger position right here. Now moving. So, what you have to do is be creative, try things, it's not going to be right the first time. And when I worked with everyone else in the past classes we did it took them multiple times to keep erasing and doing stuff over and over again and see what works, It's a trial and error thing. But I'll come back and listen, okay?
Okay.
Don't get discouraged. It's a part of learning. Who else needs to me listen? Anna? sounds good. Just keep practicing a little bit more for me and we'll start trying your left hand, okay? And then play piano while I'm doing it. Alright. Alright, so now you're gonna create a left hand.
On this.
Yes, no, I'm giving your own
Oh,
sheets.
okay.
I just crossed that left hand, or the right hand, put left hand. It's the same sheet you had before, but you have different rules.
And a corn.
Alright, here's the rules. First rule is no chords. Say it with me.
No chords.
One
Single
note.
note.
No chords. I know, even if you can, I don't want you to do it because we're gonna add that later. Okay, so no chords, single notes. And what I told you before, Brooke, yes, you can double what you have. So for instance, if you have, you can double your left hand.
Oh,
Play
you
the same
mean like
exact
only
thing.
for, yeah.
Yes, you can do that, but you can only do it for 2 measures. You cannot do the whole entire thing double. Which means you need to play either whole note, 2 half notes, or 4 quarter notes.
No, 8 notes and 11.
No, unless you have 8 notes and you're doubling. But if you do, you need to talk to me so I can see it.
Alright.
Yes. Because I don't really want you doubling 8 notes. But if it sounds really good, if it's not too bad, and you like, if you have a bunch of 8 notes where it's going. No, I don't want you to double that. But if it's just one, it might be okay. So you need to see me about that one. See if it'll work. All right? You're not writing on staff paper today. You're going to do what we've done before, starting off with rhythm, starting off with your pitches, and then playing it. That's all you're going to do. But remember what we did before? But this time you're on your own doing it. I'm not going to go step by step. Since you know how to do this before, so now you already know measures 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And I think that covers everything. Of course, yes, you can only use C, D, E, F, or G.
So we
Same
gonna
rules.
make our own notes and we're gonna name them today? So like
Yes.
put the name to them?
Yes, ma'am. And yes, make sure you're also ending in C, E, or G. Because I'm gonna let you know right now, if you end with a D or F and you got an E, it doesn't work. But try it. If you wanna do it, try it. Then go to the piano.
So when you mean no chords, so like I can't do like double, like, yeah.
Can't do that. It's
So that-
only one note. So if you do double your notes, it's the same note an octave higher.
Yeah,
But that's not a chord. That's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
only one note.
but I
That's
can only
fine.
do that for 2 measures.
You can only do that for 2 measures. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's cheating if you do it for all of them, because then you're just like, oh, I've done Miss Simpson. No, you gotta do something else. You gotta make it a little bit harder than that.
What if I
Do we
have
have
the
a
same notes but like a different?
Are you gonna go ahead?
I was thinking of like I have like the same like 8 notes and stuff, but I have like different.
Let me see.
Like say I have, instead of that being a D and an E, it'll be like a F and a G or something like that.
Yeah, you can write it down, see how it works. Because you might be like, oh, this sounds good. It might sound horrendous, but you never know. You have to try it and see.
Do we have a specific note that we have to end on in the left hand?
C, E, or G. Because that's what you enter in your right hand. So if you play a D or an F, I'm gonna let you know right now, it's not gonna work.
So does it matter like what kind of rhythm we got?
No. You have to make up your rhythm first for your left hand. You look at I would go and look at my right hand first and see what rhythm it has. Then maybe I just want to say, maybe I just want to do a whole note, for the left hand.
Okay.
Or maybe I want to do 4 quarter notes, which means that they're going to be playing the same thing. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay.
But if I want to double, I just write the same thing.
Right. If you want to double, you do the same rhythm. Then when you come back, you write the same notes.
So we'll have to like tell you if we're gonna double.
Yes, I need to see it too.
Okay. Well, I might double my 8 notes. It's only 2 8 notes.
The D, E, D, E, G.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Okay.
Is this okay right here? If I double these last 2? Just
Yeah.
both these octave lower.
Oh, we can play octave lower.
That's what it is. It is not.
Oh wait, yeah. I'm so stupid. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're fine. I had to think about it too when she said, I was like, oh, no, it's, you're not gonna be playing the same notes. It's gonna be kind of difficult because your hands gonna do this and it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But yes, that's fine. I'm fine with that. All right, so y'all work on that and I'm gonna work on the next. Sorry. Give me 1 second, I gotta go to Garrison first.
This ain't gonna be five, right?
Yeah, don't be left. Yeah, I only said it right here. Alright, sounds good. Can you listen to a couple other people and then we're gonna take another. Alright, wait.
Did she say no?
Sounds good. Let's see, now you need to start notating. So what you're gonna do when you notate is what we're just going over today. So you already drew your time signature. So all you gotta do is implement those notes into there. If you need any help, I have, well, you have the also anchor chart right here, and I also wrote it down, the only notes that you will use, which is F, A, C, then the E and G. Okay? So go ahead and note that. You'll take that for me? Yes. Ready? Yes. This look like. Okay. Go ahead and play it for me.
Look, I did it with mine. Is this one?
Wait.
Yeah, see? This one, I did it for
Now I want you, remember how you played it when you played the middle C?
all coordinates.
When you're playing it, like, play it on just middle C, like more anything. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now only play on middle C. Don't worry about this. I just want you to play on middle C. All right, just the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see how you played it on middle C? That was right. Now what I want you to do is implement that rhythm, but instead you're gonna move notes. You can go slower for this too. I want you to kind of allow it to for it. You can start. You have a D. Did you want to change it? Did you like it better that way, or you want the D? Okay, I'm gonna let you practice a little bit some more, playing a couple more times. Let me listen to it one more time before you start notating, okay? You do what?
And play it, or left hand.
Is it okay if you play out like that? You play it?
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
just see how it hears?
Yeah, you play it, yeah. I want you to do
Will
that.
you come here? Please.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't, what you think I need at the bottom? 'Cause I got 4 quarter notes at the end.
Yeah, I'll play a whole note.
I still can't use it already.
You can for left hand.
Okay.
Let me, I forgot to tell you this, but for your left hand, remember how I said every measure needs to be unique? That's not for the left hand. So you can do more than one whole note.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
just let you know.
So I can do whole notes for every measure?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Only 2 whole notes, but every measure does not have to be unique, because I will let you have 2 whole notes. That's
So do we
fine.
start out?
Go ahead. All right. Play that again for me. This time a lot slower. There's something about the second measure that going to that ED is kind of a little strange because you have so many notes playing right here. Because you have a lot of notes, you might want to anchor, so you might want a whole note here with the note.
Okay.
Since you're moving around a lot, you might want an anchor note for this right here. And you just play the E and C it. The E sounds better with all of it, or if the D sounds better. E's probably gonna sound better, we'll see. Here you go. Would you put D or did you put C?
D.
Okay.
Yeah. The E sounds better.
Okay, play it again with the E. Now, what I would say, maybe you can go E, F, so that actually wouldn't be too bad. So that's why you see here how I'm listening to it, and now I'm like, okay, maybe a whole note doesn't sound as good with that F in there. Sounds like we need an F in here, so maybe we should go back to doing the half notes. But instead of doing, would you have D and E, I think? Maybe you could do E and F. That might sound better. Alright, let's start from the beginning. So what did you think? You think
Yeah, I
that sounded?
like
Okay.
Sorry. I'm just gonna record this.
Alright. It sounds really good. I think that changing that really made a difference. So what we noticed too is that since that was an F and we had this E, it was kind of crashing with each other towards the end. And so changing it on that second half with the F made it a lot better. But that's usually what you have to do when you're making music. You play something and if it doesn't sound well, you just change it up. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds really good. I think you can practice with this some more, or you can continue on with your lesson. All right? It sounds really good. Good job.